Good afternoon, all. Today we will be seeing the topic of development lifecycle models. As we have seen already, we know what is a software and what are the development models that we have while making of a software. So today we will be seeing few important models by which we can develop the software. So the first one is it's actually a series of phases that provide a common understanding of the software building process as how the software will be realized and developed from the business understanding and requirements elicitation phase to convert these business ideas and requirement into functions and features until its usage and operation to achieve the business needs. The good software engineer should have enough knowledge on how to do the SDLC and based on the project content and the business requirements. So these are some of the types of software developing life cycles, SDLC. First one is a waterfall model. Then we have the V-shaped model, evolutionary prototyping model, SDM, that is the spiral method. And then we have the iterative and incremental method. And finally, we have the agile method. So first, speaking of the waterfall model is the description. It is a linear sequential flow. In this progress as seen, the flowing steadily goes downwards like a waterfall, though the phases of software implementation. This means that any phase in the development process begins only if the previous phase is complete. The waterfall approach does not define the process to go back to the previous phase to handle challenges in requirement. The waterfall approach is the earliest approach and most widely known that was used for software development. So here we see that the first place goes to the requirements. So first the requirements are seen, and then from there we decide the design phase, then the execution, then we have the testing, and finally then only we release the model. Then we have the V-shaped model. It is an extension of the waterfall model. Instead of moving downward in a linear way, the process steps are bent upward after the implementation and coding phase to form the typical V-shape. The major difference between the V-shape model and the waterfall model is the early test planning in the V-shape model. Speaking of which, so this is the diagrammatic representation of the V-shape model. So here we have the planning, requirements, architecture, maintenance and stuff. So in all these, then we have the detailed design, implementation, maintenance, and then we have the system acceptance testing. Then we have all this sort of testing. None of the softwares will be released to the customers directly. It will first be tested and then only it will be released. Then we have the prototyping model. So it refers to the activity of creating prototypes of software application. For example, the incomplete versions of the software program has been developed. It is an activity that occurs in the software development, and it used to visualize some component of the software to limit the gap of misunderstanding the customer requirements by the development team. This also will reduce the iterations may occur in the waterfall approach and hard to be implemented due to the inflexibility of the waterfall approach. So when the final prototype is developed, the requirement is considered to be frozen. So this is the overall prototyping methodology. So here we have the planning, then we have the initial analysis, then we have the analysis, design and implementation, which is the prototype of the building. And then we have the implementation. So then we will move on into the spiral model, which is the otherwise called as the SDM model. It is combining elements of both design and prototyping in stages. to combine advantages of top-down and bottom-up concepts. This model of development combines the features of the prototyping model and the waterfall model. The spiral model is favored for large, expensive, and complicated projects. This model uses many of the same features as the waterfall model in essentially the same order, separated by planning, risk assessment, and the building of prototypes and simulations. So this is the overall diagrammatic representation of this. So here we have the determination, the objectives, alternatives, and constraints. So we have to pass through various sorts of risk analysis. Then we have the prototype model. So each and every time we will have to make a prototype model and show it to our customers after they agree to it. And then we again move on to the next one. Then we have the iterative and the incremental model. It is developed to overcome the weakness of the waterfall model. It starts with an initial planning and ends with deployment with the cyclic interactions in between. The basic idea behind this method is to develop a system through repeated cycles and in smaller portions over time, allowing the software developers to take advantage of what was learned during the development of earlier parts of versions of the system. It can consist of the mini waterfall or mini V-shape model. So this is the mini waterfall model. So here, the first one begins with an iteration, and then the first part begins, and then we have the iteration part, and then we have the final waterfall. Then next we have the agile model. It is based on iterative and incremental development where requirements and solutions evolve through collaborations between cross-functional teams. So this is the agile model. Here we have the product backlog. So where we do the grooming, then we do the planning, sprint backlog, daily Scrum, and then 4 weeks of time is required. Then we have the valuable product. So, so with this we will conclude. So now you understood what are the methods by which we create our software. So there are few methods by which you can choose any method by which you can create this software. So when you're creating the software, any one of these methods will be helpful to you, because when you use these models, using these models, you will be able to figure out which one suits the best for the making of your particular project. Okay, so with this, we will conclude. See you in the next class. Thank you.